Do you want to know how to do positive parenting without yelling? I'm Nicholeen Peck, and I teach all over the world about parenting, good communication, how to build strong family bonds, child development, and education, all through the lens of the principle self-government. And in this video, we're talking about parenting without yelling. In this video, we're going to talk about the premise for positive parenting, and then we're going to talk about how you can do positive parenting and not have to emotionally manipulate your children by yelling. I know that sounds pretty harsh to say that yelling is emotional manipulation, but it is. If we're completely honest about yelling, then we have to face the fact that the reason we're yelling at another person is to try to control them. When you try to control another person, that is an act of manipulating your surroundings or manipulating the person that is around you. When you do that, that's actually damaging for your relationship. When a person yells at you or attacks you in any type of an aggressive way, whether emotionally or physically, you immediately step back from that person or pull away, maybe even on the inside from that person. So it does impact your bond and the feeling of trust or distrust that you might be having in that relationship. If you want to have a trusting relationship, the type of relationship where you can communicate and problem solve effectively, but not ruin that relationship bond and create a feeling of distrust, then you have to be able to do it without emotionally manipulating your children through yelling or other aggressive means. Now, I know that some people were raised by yellers and they're like, well, I turned out okay, but it's getting a little out of control. Well, probably in the moment you said to yourself, I am not going to do this, because something didn't seem principled about that. And it's true, because yelling is not a principle. It's an emotion that you project on somebody else to let them know how you're feeling, or sometimes even just to help you feel better. So when you get to the mid part of your brain and you start to feel frustrated, overwhelmed, stressed, fearful, then suddenly a yell can help you bring in another chemical into your brain. It can jolt things and then put you in a synthetic calm. And I'm going to call it synthetic because real calm is something that you choose to do and can't be easily disrupted like a synthetic calm can be. So what about positive parenting? Isn't the whole premise of positive parenting that all of the interactions are in a positive direction? This means parents can still correct their children, but it should feel instructive and should feel uplifting, like you're building the child up, you're helping them prepare and learn for the future instead of tearing them down. In fact, oftentimes people who are advocates for positive parenting are very against consequences. However, I am not, because the definition of self-government, which is a principle, which means it's broadly applicable, it can be infused into anything to bring more freedom. The definition of self-government is being able to determine the cause and effect of any given situation and possessing a knowledge of your own behaviors so that you can control them. So what that means is that you accept cause and effect. This means you're going to have to accept some negative consequences sometimes in order to actually learn. Or you might make certain decisions for your future because you know there is a negative consequence. So the premise that some people begin their parenting journey with, that they're never going to have negative consequences for their children, is actually a false reality which will prepare the child to never take personal responsibility for themselves and always think that it's the other people around them that are responsible for how they feel and how they're conducting themselves. And this just simply is not true. So what do you do instead? You can help a child learn to accept consequences, identify consequences, and self-evaluate as you teach them the skills and principles of self-government. There are 4 basic skills of self-government that if a person knows these 4 basic skills, that takes care of 99% of their behavioral problems. Those 4 basic skills are following instructions, accepting no answers and criticism, accepting consequences, and disagreeing appropriately. Each one of those 4 basic skills has a skill set attached to it. For instance, when a person accepts a no answer, if they're developmentally, emotionally healthy, then what they can do is they can look at the person or the situation, keep a calm face, voice, and body, say okay or ask to disagree appropriately, which is another one of our 4 basic skills, and then they can drop the subject so they don't internalize it and keep thinking about it forever. They can move on. This is the healthy thing to do. But it's not just the children who need these 4 basic skills. Parents need them as well, and they need other skills also to help them parent their children so that they don't have to do it with yelling. You want to be nice. You want to be positive. That's the whole reason that you like the concept of positive parenting, right? So, what do? You prepare ahead of time. You plan the words that you will say, and you prepare the child too so that they know how to respond to your corrections. Oftentimes we live too much in the moment, and because we live too much in the moment and we don't prepare or plan ahead of time, we end up becoming the worst versions of ourselves. So I would like to help you learn more of these skills and principles of self-government in my next video, How to Be a Better Parent Without Yelling. Click on the link to that video. I'll see you there.